Hello from Rome, where I promised we would talk about the 8th position, the last of the numbered positions that I'm going to discuss. And as a way of getting there, I'm going to recap a little bit all of the other positions we talked about. If you remember, we started in first position, the most extreme of the first position being the one where we reach back to the flatter notes, which is the widest stretch that we make in a position. Then I went to the fourth position, which I consider the next most essential because it's very firmly anchored by the thumb and the crook of the neck. It's useful for finding the upper positions and positions below it. And then we're going to go up here to the third essential position, which is the 8th position, which is the first of the total thumb positions. To find this position, the easiest thing is to find the harmonics. It sits squarely under the thumb on all 4 strings. Next to find is the octave. It's very obvious. You use the harmonic down here, the stop third finger. But essential is where you put the middle fingers. And that I find very, very, very important because the hand needs to be set in what I would call a very, very proper and healthy and consistent thumb position. So I'm going to start not with the octave here, but with the 4th, first finger, and the harmonic here. Harmonic D, A first finger. We're going to begin by alternating the 4th and the octave. Settle in. After that settles in, you can build another 4th here. You've pretty much learned where to put your second finger. The second and first fingers in this version of the 8th position should lie with the second finger touching the third for the half step, and the first finger firmly on the 4th. That's one variation, it's the easier variation of thumb position. More tricky is when we need to play a half step here. The finger position is also an interesting subject because some people, like me, feel more comfortable bending the first this way in order to get it closer to the thumb, or rather in order to play more on the flesh of the finger. But other people feel more comfortable playing on the tip of the finger, although it's harder to get a juicy sound like you can on the flesh. So it's up to you, but you need to practice the half steps. That comfortable. Of course, the half step cannot be checked with any other note. But your octave should remain the same. And you should have a good 4th between your first and your second. Those are the 2 essential versions of thumb position and 8th position that you should really master so that this position becomes very, very comfortable. 8th position is also, it is in the same way that the first position is a way to get to the second position. The 4th position is a way to reach the 3rd position. Remember these? The 4th position is also a way to go up to 5th. The 5th, 6th, and 7th positions we were considering as being extensions of the 4th position. In the same way, I consider other extensions of the hand to be extensions of the 8th position. For example, take the works of Popper. concerto. Those are both extensions, different distances, of the 8th position. So it's incredibly important that you become very comfortable in 8th position. It should be your launching point for the rest of the upper positions, whether you're extending or shifting. And I hope that this organization, so sort of mapping out, like States of the Union, from the function of the 1st position, its relative positions, 4th position as the second most important one as departure to go up and to back, and then the 8th position as departure for reaching and shifting to the far upper positions. I hope this is really helpful. And for the next talk, we're going to start to move between positions and find ways to get from one to the other in tune, and eventually the whole question of intonation with a fluid left hand will certainly become much clearer.